A lot of those solutions that people are stuck with for a long time, I think one thing that's often forgotten is they do the basics really well. They understand exactly what the customer needs to do, and they do it well, and they do it well every day. So I think, there's a lot we're doing differently, but I think there's a lot that we've learned from competitors. I think, we're trying to make sure we get those basics right before we take the next step and sort of innovate. But I think, some of the improvements that we've made are a better support around legislation. I think we're probably one of the only, I venture to guess, one of the only property management solutions in recent years to launch. There hasn't been very many. So what's been quite nice about this is we've been able to bring a little bit more of the legislation in, a little bit more support for, EICRs and right to rent and those sorts of things that often, they obviously just get bolted onto existing systems. And, we've also sort of looked at the deposit protection and release process and integrate that a bit tighter and a bit more natively into the software to make sure it's much smoother. We'll look at, integrations with the deposit schemes over time, but at the moment we're just trying to make sure that their process is as good as possible. And then some sort of, I guess you could say, for the front office people, some boring items, but they are important around sort of the way in which accounts are structured, structuring on a per person and on a per property basis. And, it makes things like paying landlords substantially easier because, you don't have to do all sorts of gymnastics to try and generate the proper payment statement for a landlord's preferences. We track both of those structures, and that makes it substantially easier to represent that statement to the landlord. So, it's a bit of making sure we do the basics right, but also making sure that the next steps, we're moving beyond what the industry is doing. I think we've got some really, really exciting, should we say, skunk works projects going on in the background, but we're not ready to talk about those now, but in time,
okay,
we'll see them.
Fight Club rules, is it? Yeah.